Video, guys. Today we'll be continuing on from last time, which we are gonna continue the Alan Wake. Bleh, 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 bleh. Anyways, okay. We left off at like we were gonna face the big bad evil person in the whole thing. Give me 1 second. YouTube is not cooperating for some reason. Can I please? There we go. Okay, so we're gonna continue game from last time. Let's figure out what we need to do. I am the Cauldron Lake. Oh yeah, this part. Come on. Come on. How many headshots do you take? I guess a lot. Let's continue. Let's continue the same thing, because I'm pretty sure I... Okay. Come on. Nope. Come on. Dark Souls backdash. Now. Come on. There we go. Did I get the ammo? Can't remember. Okay, I did. Now let's do a turn. Yeah, come on. Come on. There we go. Let's continue. Up. boat. Okay. Come on. Okay. Get stabbed in the back, and we try it again. Right it back. Come on, let's go. Do all this. Load. And we do a cluster. Nope. Nope. Come on. Now 3? There we go. Nothing? Come on. Go kill a head out. Oh. There we go. Great. And we continue. Nope. Bam. Flashbang it is. Come on. Okay. Nope. Back off. Nope. Any more? Dodged way too soon. Okay. Okay. Load. Come on. Come on. Attack me. So... Nothing. Okay. Come on. Okay. Now we just have to get past these ones. Get him out of here. Come on. Flashbangs. Okay. Come on. Come on. Fight me. There we go. Next one. Okay. Okay. Up we go. We crank like our life depends on it, because it does. Let's try it again. There we go. At least we got a checkpoint. More ammo, stuff like that. Nothing over here. We go up. Anything? Use? Okay. Okay. Too bad for you. We go up. Get to that. Oh. What the? Ow. Checkpoint. Okay. Let's go up. The darkness wears her face. Cash? Hello? Maybe it's up here. There's a shotgun, I know. Darkness controls the chicken. And then we get more ammo and use it. Okay, that's not the right way. There's her face. Okay. Now we just try to find out what we need to do. Hello? I guess it's that way. Take this, open it, and we find all that we need. What's this?
I needed to get the generator running.
Okay. Can we connect that to that? I mean, it'll overpower it, but still, it'd be at least full. What's in here? I saw a little flashbang? Flashbang. Anything back here? Another flashbang. Don't like how there's so much flashbangs. Go in here. We find absolutely nothing. Okay. Go over here. And here? No. That's just the wood pile. This way, I guess. Okay. Flashbangs. Flare. Bam. 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 How's that working at least? Come on now. Got one. Another. Another. Ooh, I almost got it too. Just needed a few more seconds. Okay, sometimes you instead of fighting. Okay, click this. We'll go over here. We click that. Then we click that. And we'll go all the way over here and do this. Get that flare too. Okay. Nope, I need this stuff. Come on. Ring. Ring and wheel. Okay. Back off. Okay. Use. Things reloaded. Not safe haven anymore. Okay. Ooh, manuscript. Flares and stuff like that. Lithium batteries.
Turn back now.
Why? No. How about that? Okay. Well, I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay.
Do as you're told.
How about nah? I'll do my own destiny. Ow. No, he's even controlled Shadow Rock either.
Lewis never loved you.
Okay. Probably cover. Best I can. Then we run for it. Dodge. Couple of flares should work.
You can't win.
I say what I can and cannot do.
You will fail. It's over.
So be it then.
You're making this up?
Yeah. 4 flares. Just throw a flashbang down there. Da 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 da. Okay, that's a choice.
Hell!
That's definitely something.
Shh, baby. You were having a bad dream.
Yeah, no.
It was just another nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Everything's fine. You're home.
it wasn't a dream.
Everything's fine.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on!
Shh, baby. The power's out. There's no light. Come back to bed and I'll make you forget all about your fear.
Nope.
My fear? It's your fear. Why aren't you afraid? You're not Alice. Turn the lights on now. Where's the clicker? What did you do with it?
Alan, you're scaring me now.
Around.
Come back to bed. Have you taken your
Nah.
pills? You want
Yep.
to call Dr. Hartman?
You can go
Come
suck
back to bed, Alan.
my damn.
Come
Ow.
back to bedtime.
Yeah. Mine. Oh. Hello. You gonna speak now or nah?
You must find your way to the cabin. It stands in your way. It won't let you pass. has no heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's filled with darkness. You must fill its heart with light.
So we have to be compassionate to it?
Don't mind him. He's Mr. Scott. Your friends will meet him when you're gone.
Mm-hmm. I fight
Use the
myself.
clicker.
Okay. What? Okay. Therapy? Bombs. Third. Shopping. What that says. There we go. Telephone pole. Great. Third. And five. Okay, so
I'm leaving you.
What?
Chewbacca.
I'm myself. I'm in love with someone else.
No, what are you saying? You can't.
You don't even love yourself. All you do is torture yourself with work and can't do anything.
Aha.
I love you more than anything in the world. You're my muse.
I'm not.
Who are you? What have you done with my Alice?
Come on.
It wasn't true. Nothing like that had ever happened.
Burn. I don't feel comfortable with all
You're
this.
not my Barbara.
Checkpoint.
Please, untie me, you naughty boy.
What?
I will help you reach your masterpiece. I will love you forever.
No, you're not Barbara Jagger. I made a terrible mistake. I should have never written you back. You came back wrong. Your heart is filled with darkness.
Put that knife away, Thomas. Put it down.
There.
Cut it out. Take you back to the depths of nature.
Okay. Make sure we do every single one. We don't know what these do. Okay.
Get away from me, you hag! Where am I? Let me go!
There we go.
Alice, I'm coming.
Your husband refused to do as he was told. All he had to do was write.
Nope. Ooh. Hello.
Now you will never get her back.
Oh, my chest.
I am much older than you.
Just because you're older doesn't mean you're
Older than
stronger.
your first work of art. I will find a new face to wear. Someone else to dream me free.
There we go. Can we just boil the lake? Or would that go into the sky? It'd probably go into the sky, so probably not a good idea. Any more twists? Is it going to be that she's not going to come, right?
I could feel Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light.
So it's just like,
Alice?
oh,
Alice?
oh, so it just repeats over and over again.
Oh no!
Oh. Stuck? I guess the punishment is just repeating the same steps over and over again. Or is it just can never have Alice again? Or is he the price and Alice can go free? Which would just be the same thing. And she would probably do that for him, I'm guessing. Unless he writes it that she won't. But you can obviously have dinner, kind of. At least she saved. That's one good part. Dun, dun.
Alan? Alan?
Fucked places, huh? Okay, so just swap places, not a recurring thing. Oh, okay. Don't know what that was all about. And then we go down memory lane and find out all the places we almost died and already did. Okay. Okay. All these people are alive. Oh, those guys. Then she turns into the Watcher.
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
Alan, wake up.
And that is the end of it. I wonder if there's any DLCs. Well, let's just talk about the actual ending of this. The actual ending just switches them. Obviously, she doesn't have his actually writing skills, but she can probably see patterns, and after a while but after she learns how to write and stuff like that, it'll probably be she'll probably be over it. But she'll try a different way. It's not a lake, it's an ocean. So there's more other things that we don't know about the lake. So would it just be an endless cycle of them replacing each other, or is it just she tries but ultimately fails and she escapes to a normal life that she can adopt? But that wouldn't make sense considering how much he went through for her. So it would have to be like more of a sentiment on their both parts, because if not, maybe it's she can bring him back to reality whenever he gets into his writing aspect on or something like that. Just get into his writing fun. But yeah, that would have to ultimately have the crux that she would just leave him in the lake, not investigate, but she might have investigated, but there wasn't anything to investigate because he made sure of that, because maybe she didn't read all of his things, and that's why there isn't a lot to pick up, and she would have to actually read the manuscript to figure out what's actually going on, because the only person that can get out of it is the person who puts their creative endeavor. Wait a minute, it does not have to be a writer that does it. Sounds like to me that it's just expression, like an artist's expression. So if you create like a portrait of oneself but have like a fantastical aspect to it, like dark image behind them or something like that, then does that still transfer over to like that, instead of just having writing as a artistic expression? Because if so, then you would have to, how far away, how big of the artistic expression can it be for the ocean or the mythological eldritch horror to actually pick up on? Because you could put maybe it's like kind of putting your heart and soul into your work, but probably not, because there's other people that work in there. It wouldn't have to be songs either, because there was maybe they didn't write it when they were in there, so it can't be songs that trigger it. The only way you trigger it is through writing, and that's it. But that's just leaving out a whole slew of different artistic expressions, because if you do like animations, then would it go how the short film or something like that go, as like the character almost dies but doesn't have the exact like facial, or maybe it does have the exact, maybe it has to be, they have to be on the lake and do their artistic expression, so the monster, the Eldritch Horror, can feed upon it. So if you draw the lake while it's on its edge, then will that still count? Or do you have to be on the house for it to actually get a grasp on it? Because the whole point of this is, what if your writing came to life, is pretty much what it is, but has a sinister twist on it, because the one actually putting it to life wants the whole, as far as we can tell, they just want to be freed, and they like darkness, or wherever they go, darkness will follow, and it could be evil, but it could not have that like morality that humans do either, because it's not a human at all, it's a thing. So the only way for that to make sense is if it, obviously, like, the shadow monster it produces isn't exactly like a good thing, but it could just be trying to attack and trying to get free. But what actually put it there in the first place for it to be like trapped in that lake or ocean portal? Is it just like it's just been another dimension and that's the only portal, and it's just trying to expand as much as it physically can to? Or is it more that it was trapped by a stronger being or a more clever being to trap it into that realm, dimension? As far as we can tell, it's just a oceanic, but also could be it's just like a void of blank nothingness. But if you put your heart and soul around it, then into something, then it can manifest into that realm. Because the only way that it could do anything was because the first author wrote a story about his wife being possessed, and that's why, and maybe the only reason it's evil, I mean, from what we've seen and what we heard, it's been evil, it's always been evil. But with the writing being true, it could actually affect the thing. It could be a person originally, and it transformed into that thing, and the writer, the first writer that did it, put it like an evil entity instead of just a entity that helps express one's artistic ability into what it can be. Episodes? Options? What extras? Stacks. Statistics. Kills with revolver 177. Kills with flare 37. Kills with shotgun 98. Kills with hunted rifle 6. Flashbang 64. Vehicles 2. Indirect kills 48. Polyester objects destroyed 78. Birds killed 780. Battery uses 163. Manuscript pages found 60 out of 106. Coffee thermoses found 29 out of 100. Canned pyramids knocked over 0 out of 12. Chests found 5 out of 30. Radio shows found 7 out of 11. TV shows found almost all of them, 11 out of 14. Signs found 6 out of 25. Alarm clocks found 0 out of 10. Cardboard stand-ins found 0 out of 6. Night Springs video games found 0 out of 10. If I continue, will it just continue from my last save point? Because if so, then I would have to back out and try to find a different way to do this.
Let me go. I promised.
Yeah. Okay, so it could be that it was evil from the start, or it's just that this portal, I guess, or dimension, or something like that, just peers back what it's like a reflection, maybe, and because that the first author was writing about like an evil entity controlling his wife, and the ocean or lake was just reflecting back to the world, and he could have wrote that the entity gave a heart and gave a soul and became good or even became neutral, and because the most of the power does come from the writing, so the writing, whatever you write becomes true, and the entity will try to control the narrative, but obviously can't write the narrative itself, because evil can, at least from what I've seen in Alan Wake, that evil can't create, it can only destroy things. So it's also personifying in that the evil entity just can't write, and so it has to have authors to create a story for it to follow. Not to follow, but to express itself through. Because if the whole reason this started was because the first author was just writing on the island, the Diver's Island, and then he wrote himself to death, or that was just the entity trying to stop him from stopping it. But that's a kind of a gamble, considering you don't know if another author will try to go into there, because I think the very next tenant was another author, and it could have just had just a lumberjack and a waitress, and just those, or it could just been just a single person that just want to live there and just take care of the island and stuff like that, and had no interest in the writing sphere at all. and that was if that did happen, that would be a kind of a big gamble on if he get a writer or not. But the old writer wrote in that there would be the next tenant would be a writer. Maybe the entity saw that and tried to kill him, knowing that they would have a second chance on to what their plan. And their whole plan hinges on if they can manipulate the other author into what they need to do. And obviously they knew how humans, or at least how Alan, what he valued most was his wife and the safety of his wife and the light, and kind of scared of the dark. Wait, if it personifies as evil, so it probably makes sense that the entity wanted to be feared. So did the entity appear different for the first author than the second? Because it wants to be feared. So if the first author was afraid of something different, would it try to mold that so it can rule through fear? And that's why it was personified as darkness. Or was it just it was first written as darkness, and that's what it will always be, as darkness? And the thing wasn't dormant, it was just killing people. Maybe that was the other tenants? Maybe that's not the right after, but if the entity saw that or it could just been evil and just like the thrill of hunting and killing, so it would take these people so it could have like a body. And that's what we fought against most of the rounds, because obviously the darkness can't do anything by itself, and the entity didn't actually do any physical harm to us directly. The entity didn't like punch us or stab us or anything like that. It did roundabout ways to try to kill us, like trying to send out its darkness to create other humans. And those were just the previous victims, so it could have like those bodies. And the reason that they were disappeared afterwards is because the entity fully encumbered them with darkness, so there wasn't really anything left to hold on to. So their soul either was consumed by the entity or just went to another place, and that's why the light actually worked on them. And that's why there was just so many of them. It was either a human form, or it was trying to possess like a harvester or barrels. It was trying to throw at us. And the first entity was the first real encounter with the enemy was just one of his story characters coming to life. Could it be that it was just trying to collect memories of and not actually the person, and it was just trying to collect all their creative endeavors and what they use their creativity to create bodies. And because the entity only had a body when it took over the first wife's body. I mean, obviously there's a hole in her chest where their heart is supposed to be, and that's kind of how she did it. Either she had to be dead and that was the quickest way, or it's supposed to signify that the heart and the soul are intertwined, and that's why there's a hole in the chest, because when you say like feel with your heart, you do your feelings and stuff like that, and it's said, the previous author said that it has no feelings, it has no of those human qualities because it's not human, and it could just be another way for the previous author to show that, or it could be a bit poisoned by the heart and feelings, so it just got rid of it to become more powerful. And that's not even was there. So the first author did all that, and then the second author, Alan, wrote himself into the story, and the lesson he picked out of it was that there always has to be a price, and that's why the other guy failed, that he didn't give something up to equal value to his wife and to him, or just in general, because you could have offered the entity itself, but it didn't act. In the end, the entity was not stopped, because you can't destroy evil, you can only push it back. But that opens up a new story for like a sequel or something like that, for it to come back and just to wreak havoc every single time. That, as far as we can tell, the only pattern we can, at least I can find, is authors has to be the artistic outlet for the entity to latch onto and create it through, or not create, but manifest it into the real world, because the only person that actually creates it is the writer or the author themselves. And the whole reason that this stuff goes through is that it's just a mirror. I said that before, it's just a mirror, and also leaves a cliffhanger on what the wife is gonna do. But if we have any indication that they love each other throughout, you would do anything for that partner. Maybe she even tries and she succeeds, and they don't actually further it because they just keep swapping, because they can't live in a world without the other. But they could also try to see if someone else is willing to give up their life, because if what I'm saying is true and they're just going back and forth, the only way for someone to do it is if they have nobody to do that for, and then it'll just come to an end, and they can write or find out a way to because you can't really permanently get rid of it, but you can try to contain it as best you can. And that's my thoughts and my gameplay on Alan Wake. I hope you had a good live stream. I hope you have a good night, and goodbye.